So we're gonna start by listening to a song that a friend wrote some years ago at the monastery in Utah. It's called Unwind Your Mind. Yeah.
When you see yourself as weary, come to me and be undone. When you see yourself as tired and unkind, come to me and I'll unwind your mind. I'm a brother you can lean on when you find yourself in need, when all your private thoughts get heavy, when your heart begins to bleed. I'm your sister, I am your mother, I am your father and child. Let yourself fall into this oneness. Unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. You already are what you're looking for. You don't have to fix yourself anymore. Just unwind. When you see yourself as weary, go to him and be undone. When you see yourself as tired and unkind, go to him and he'll unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. Unwind your mind. You already are what you're looking for. You don't have to fix yourself anymore. Just unwind.
Okay, I'm going to read a few lines from Guiltlessness and Invulnerability. It's from chapter 13, part 1. And I'm going to read pretty much the first sentence of each paragraph here. So Jesus speaks these words. Earlier, I said that the Holy Spirit shares the goal of all good teachers, whose ultimate aim is to make themselves unnecessary by teaching their pupils all they know. The Holy Spirit shares the goal of all good teachers, whose ultimate aim is to make themselves unnecessary by teaching their pupils all they know. So this is what the Holy Spirit is. He's going to make himself unnecessary by teaching you all he knows, which is your identity is spirit. In the strange world that you have made, the Son of God has sinned. How could you see him then? As you look upon yourself and judge what you do honestly, you may be tempted to wonder how you can be guiltless. The journey the Son of God has set himself is useless indeed, but the journey on which his Father sets him is one of release and joy. You will see me as you learn the Son of God is guiltless. When you have accepted the atonement for yourself, you will realize there is no guilt in God's Son. As you perceive the holy companions that travel with you, you will realize that there is no journey, but only an awakening. As you perceive the holy companions who travel with you, you will realize that there is no journey, but only an awakening. The Son of God who sleepeth not has kept faith with his Father for you. There is no road to travel on and no time to travel through. You don't have to fix yourself anymore, just unwind. It's the message of the song. For God waits not for his Son in time, being forever unwilling to be without him. God doesn't wait for his Son in time, being forever unwilling to be without him. And so it has always been. Let the holiness of God's Son shine away the cloud of guilt that darkens your mind, and by accepting his purity as yours, learn of him that it is yours. So whoever is unforgiven in your mind, whoever you have made different from anybody else, let them come to mind for forgiveness. Then the guilt will go away, the cloud of guilt that darkens your mind will be shined away by the holiness of God's Son. You are invulnerable because you're guiltless. You can hold on to the past only through guilt. For guilt establishes that you will be punished for what you have done, and thus depends on one-dimensional time proceeding from past to future. So we're going to learn to perceive time differently, that it is not linear, not one-dimensional, not proceeding from past to future. And the way you will experience it is that you don't journey in time, but through beliefs to more and more light and truth, you release more and more beliefs. This is the undoing. Accepting the atonement teaches you what immortality is. For by accepting your guiltlessness, you learn that the past has never been, and so the future is needless and will not be. Because the past has never been, the future is also needless. The future in time is always associated with expiation. And only guilt could induce a sense of need for expiation. Accepting the guiltlessness of the Son of God as yours is therefore God's way of reminding you of his Son and what he is in truth. For God has never condemned his Son, and being guiltless, he is eternal. You cannot dispel guilt by making it real and then atoning for it. You cannot dispel guilt by making it real and then atoning for it. Because this is the ego's plan, which it offers instead of dispelling it. So if there are feelings of guilt, you've already made guilt real. And then this harsh journey of trying to atone for it starts. But this is the ego's plan. So the way is to see that the guilt is not real. You can't atone for something that isn't real. The ego teaches you to attack yourself because you are guilty. And this must increase the guilt, for guilt is the result of attack. In the ego's teaching them, there is no escape from guilt. For attack makes guilt real. And if it is real, there is no way to overcome it. The Holy Spirit dispels it simply through the calm recognition that it has never been. As he looks upon the guiltless Son of God, he knows that this is true. And being true for you, you cannot attack yourself, for without guilt, attack is impossible. And then you are saved, because God's Son is guiltless. And being wholly pure, you are invulnerable. The Holy Spirit's mission in our mind is to teach us that we are guiltless. And once that's learned, the Holy Spirit has taught himself out of his job. He's no longer needed. And this comes with knowing you're not a body. You're not separate. What a journey, huh? Learning to see the purity of God's Son. That's the purpose of the world. The purpose of the world as the Holy Spirit sees it. Were you reading about the Holy Spirit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Holy Spirit being a creation of the one Creator, creating with Him and in His likeness or spirit, is eternal and has never changed.
And that's the oneness. That's why the Holy Spirit will be, he will not be used as a teacher anymore, because there is no one to teach in the end. But this is the ultimate core truth, the dwelling place, which is not even a place. It's a state. It's a oneness of which we cannot speak. No words are sufficient. The Holy Spirit was called down upon the earth in the sense that it was now possible to accept Him, to hear His voice. His is the voice for God, and has therefore taken form. This form is not His reality, which God alone knows, along with Christ, His real Son, who is part of Him. So how I read that is the Holy Spirit is just available, even in this world. There is help to reach the truth. That's all it means, that it has taken form. So does anyone have anything today that you'd like to raise up for healing?
Yeah, just the movie last night really stirred up a lot for me, and this, I think I had a lot of dreams. I don't remember them in the night, but I'm just aware of this chaotic and impulsivity, or what you can call it, that we saw in this family, and how it just so much reminded me of my life in the past with Reza, and I can see that I judge it really hard, and I'm aware of. I just kind of see that this fear of intensity, and I think I more or less thought that I could just control it and close down for some of it and not for all, but I could certainly see that it's all or nothing. It's and then it's in the intensity of love, and it's everything. It's not controllable. I can't control this.
Did you say in the intensity of love?
Yeah, because I realized that I was just thinking of some of the first time online when I just felt this really open-hearted love with Peter, and how scary that was. And I realized it still is, you know, and in a way, I was just thinking that the time where he was in England, I was in Denmark, and it was online. It was, this might sound harsh, but it's kind of feels, it was easier for me to handle. It was, it's when it's now it's so close, it's like, yeah, this feeling out of control is really fucking scary for me. And yeah, and I can see that there's this idea in me that I can just keep some of it, the bad part of it, I can just control that and keep the intensity down. And I suddenly realized it's all or nothing. It just put a lid on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, like you're describing the experience of time closing down on the love. So remembering that first love, that was scary, you know. Yeah, it is scary to the ego. Love is scary to the ego. The ego wants to dilute it and use time to dilute it. And using bodies to dilute it.
Yeah.
Your own and his, you know, living together, being together now 24/7. The ego wants to use that to close upon the love, close down the love.
Yeah.
And to be aware of that is very helpful, just to know that that's how the ego works.
Yes.
You can start to question it.
I think that's what we started to do, you know. At least I'm more and more aware of the shutting down and the disconnection and the exclusion. I've always had this fear of being excluded. When I realize I'm excluding myself, I'm actually choosing it, actively choosing it to avoid all this intensity. Yeah.
Yeah, and the chaos is already believed in. You think you are avoiding chaos.
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah, facing the fear, not excluding yourself.
I was aware of my extreme judgment on the whole family, everyone in that film yesterday, and just judging everything they did. And I just realized that I still judge. Myself and Reza for whatever happened many years ago, and kind of not wanting to admit or even look at, you know. I have extreme judgment on myself for that period of time.
Yeah, so it's important that you look at that. The judgment on yourself, the images, the intensity, Just look at it without judgment, with the Holy Spirit. Whatever has brought up this contraction or fear or judgment in you, just to look at it until there is no more charge. And it feels like you are feeling strong enough and safe enough now to do that. Feeling supported, feeling safe and loved. You can safely look at the past to release it. So we must share with everybody which movie we watched. Because
Yes, I don't remember the title.
Silver Linings Playbook we watched. It's like, I guess it's called OCD, or I don't know what kind of label, but
Bipolar disorder.
yeah. Yeah, very acting out immediate emotion and without concern. He was waking up his parents several times at 3 a.m, 4 a.m. Can't find this video. Like very disrespectful, or just an immediate kind of urge in his mind. There was no concern, no compassion, no awareness of other people or what is helpful. So it's a wild movie, but it's beautiful because it's healing. It's finding love, finding connection, seeing judgments and releasing them. He met this girl and he's convinced that she is such a bad person. He just judged her. And she's like, so you think I'm worse than you? Like, he himself was so outraged in his behavior. So yeah, it's a powerful movie, actually. It's a mind watcher too. Yeah. Thanks for going at past. Release it. It's good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Maybe you watched this movie 3-4 times and I think it doesn't charge up anymore. We can't fix the past. Past is a mess, but we can face whatever is painful in it. Neutralize it. Release the charge from the images. Thank you.
Yeah, I recognized something in Solveig's sharing from this morning, that how the ego, or it feels like a fear of love, that when the heart opens up more, and then it comes like a counter to that, to receive love, or to perceive love is coming, and then want to push it away. And in this morning, in communication with Matthew, that something inside push away when there is like the spaciousness in the heart is gone for the moment, and then fear comes up to receive. Well, I was just watching that.
So you saw that in the moment, or did you see that later?
I think a bit later, yeah. Because it was, I think it was up already before I met Matthew, so, and I perceived openness through Matthew, and then something got scared, like I cannot take this, I cannot receive this, or something.
When you're on it, when you're seeing it, you know, now you're aware of how strong that tendency can be to block out love.
Yeah.
Fear of present joining. And it's funny, that line is so brilliant. Future loss is not your fear, but present joining is your dread. So there is always some kind of excuse or justification for a belief in future loss when love is blocked out. Like, I'm not safe, I'm gonna lose something in the future if I'm open now. But Jesus' future loss is not your fear. It is that fear of present joining. So it feels good as you're looking at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you looked at it, did you feel like the heart opened again? Like you were able to feel the love again?
Yeah, because it starts to pound. Also to share it, it opens up again.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's the not looking that keeps it status quo, you know, like for you, Solveig, like not looking at the past keeps it in this fearful or this, status quo, the box, or the fear is still there. But looking at it, it's the way to open up again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just have this feeling that, you know, there's been some big heart openings and feeling very, very present. And this morning, I just don't. So it's like, whatever the box is, it's firmly closed, it feels. So that's really...
Yeah, thanks for naming that. You know, this is the mind training. So the heart openings are great, the tops, you know, but then after the heart openings, after healing, that's the time to be on to the ego, you know. The ego likes the everyday, the kind of, the word low, yeah, becoming numbed out a bit, you know.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Like I am a bit numb.
Yeah.
What to do with it?
This is the time to be alert, to pray a bit more, to pause a bit more, to question a bit more, you know, that feeling, that belief in time. Like it's not really good, it's not really bad. That's the dangerous point, really. You know,
it does feel quite bad because it's very dull.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Yeah. And your birthright, you have the right, you are worthy of miracles. Every day should be devoted to miracles, like devoted. That's a strong word. You know, the word command your spirit to miracles or to God even, you know, like be that eager.
So it's almost like that's what I can't find. And that's what I'm constantly in prayer, but it's like, oh, I'm missing because.
Yeah. And it's not of you, you know, it is spirit is the how.
Yeah.
So if it's not there, it's because there is something more to open up to question. There is another judgment, belief, or concept to question. If bliss is not there, there is another concept to question. Get passionate because I know about it. And it's not good enough. Every day is not good enough, you know. Dullness is not good enough. It's the ego's comfort zone, though, and it's good to be aware of that. It's like you can be open to be shaken out of your comfort zone. And we ask how? We ask the Holy Spirit, you know, for the means. And so to be open to the means, it's going to be very helpful.
Yeah. Something feels more open now. Less dull, less like, yeah, I almost like flatlining or something. It's like, oh, feels dead. Doesn't feel good. So this just feels a little bit like, okay, just guide me to what it is that I'm not seeing at the moment. And I'm willing to see it. I don't want this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for naming this. We'll join together in a powerful prayer.
Yeah, that's it. There's something like the connection. When the connection's gone, or it feels gone, it feels like I'm disconnected from everything and everybody. Connect with me, guys.
But that's it. Go towards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something has crept in. Yeah.
Yeah. Sneaky.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was feeling I was feeling so much love actually for all of you and for your words, Jenny, and for your state. And I was just like, wow, it's so beautiful. And then right after that, there is this feeling coming up again. I'm just going to share a little bit what I saw the other day. Because, you know, I've been sharing this thing about this getting hurt and feeling like a sinkhole, like this huge ego just wanting. And then I just, you know, it's been not there. And then all of a sudden, when I went to a meeting, I go to these meetings and we basically sit still for more than 2 hours. And at this meeting, I just had this thing coming up again, you know. I got a text before I got in about a friend that keeps counseling me and keeps not having time and keeps not choosing me, basically. That's my interpretation. And I could see first there was anger, and then there was sadness, then there was rage. And then I could see it's because I have this deep belief inside of me that comes out. And it's the weirdest thing, because I keep ending up in this place that I'm wrong, that I'm not wanted, that I'm not loved. And no matter how many times I've been there before, it keeps coming up. And so I was sitting there with all this pain, and I didn't want to sit there, and I was furious, and I kept on going in and out of it for a long time. And then all of a sudden there was peace again, and I could see it from a totally different angle again. I could see that it's this sinkhole again. It's me wanting, and it's this huge, deep misconception about why I'm here in the first place in life. And I keep thinking that it's about getting, and it's about being seen a certain way. And it's about not feeling connected and not feeling part of the whole, and thinking that I have to have all these things. And that's what I felt again now. It's still there. And at the meeting, when I had it coming up, I found this amazing peace afterwards, because I could see it again. All of a sudden, it just shifted for me, and I could. Yeah, it became the opposite. I prayed for them, I could actually genuinely feel like, and also for myself, but I felt completely different and so free, and I slept the whole night. I could sleep a whole night on my own. And I don't know I don't even know why I'm crying now. It's just such a painful thing that I keep believing in.
Yeah. It seems to be a core belief, a core feeling.
Oh, and also, that was the interesting part, because of all of a sudden when I had it, and also now I have this, I see so many moments, with that friend, and that friend, and that friend, and with my daughter, and then, with my ex-husband, in every relationship, actually. And then I saw it, I even had, seeing, I did the same with my father.
Yeah, so it is a core belief. You've seen it in so many relationships. It's like a core wound, core belief.
Yeah. I'm so happy I can see. I don't feel happy at the moment, but I'm so glad it's.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. Thank you for expressing.
Thank you for being there. Thank you for being so amazing. so supportive all the time and so loving and so wise. So you can say, yeah, for showing me the way. Both of you.
You're beautiful. And your transparency is so helpful. It helps you. It makes the healing journey quite short or shortened. You're so open and transparent.
Yeah, because it's crazy. It's so crazy and painful and needy and like a victim and yeah, so dependent. It's the opposite of everything I'm longing for. Weak.
Thank you. Still hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Isn't it magical though that we don't need to do anything more than this because it just, nothing needs to be fixed now.
Yeah. You just unwind.
You just uncover what's in the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Yeah, that is it.
And I also saw that that's the reason why I can't meditate for very long and struggle with it. And I do it every day, but I just want things, Oh, it's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's time for a next step or, yeah. Something more in terms of awakening and expansion.
Mm. Yeah, thank you so much. I feel wonderful now.
Thank you.
I feel very different in my whole body too.
Nice. Thank you for joining. Beautiful. Just keep hearing the words. The Son of God is happy only with his Father. Son of God is happy only with his Father. Your soul, your true self, your Christ mind is happy only in its source, in the truth, in the love. Created it, created you.
Hi.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't really know what I want to talk about, and I'm just noticing there's always some fear when it's not clear what I'm going to say. I felt really disturbed by the film last night. It seems, just reading the lessons this morning, like it seems to be a visual representation of that. My meaningless thoughts create a meaningless world, and meaningless world engenders fear, and all of it.
Yeah.
God did not create a meaningless world. There's a part and I just wanted it to stop, just stop. I couldn't, it's unbearable. Yeah, I don't really know what I want to say, but I've been noticing over the last couple of days how I'm looking for ways to confirm that I'm not enough.
Wow, that's good to be on to that unhelpful pattern.
And then seeing like the grief, there's a whole lot of grief comes up around that.
Wow, the only response that is helpful is to question it. The belief that you're not enough. It can't be true, right?
No. Yeah. Really praying for that, like, but yeah, part of me thinks like, does that work? Does it work? I just like even that. There's something I need to do. If I pray, show me I'm worthy.
Yeah, maybe it's even more active than that. Like in the situations when the ego concludes that you're not enough, to see those situations, to see those beliefs straight on, then yeah, in that to ask, please show me that I'm wrong about this.
Yeah.
Conclusion. Because yeah, the Holy Spirit cannot go in between your thoughts and their effects.
Yeah.
Because that would take away the power of your own mind, And the whole point is to learn the power of your own mind, the power of thought, the power of belief, and release those unhelpful beliefs that don't have God in them.
Yeah, I read that bit yesterday, reading about fear and how it can't, you can't ask for the fear to be taken away. That's what you just said, isn't it? It can't come between.
Yeah. But you can see what the conditions, he says there. You can look at the conditions where the fear started.
Yeah.
So and it's also connected to questioning guilt. Because I think this conclusion, I'm not enough, that totally comes from guilt.
Yeah, well, this morning when I woke up, I felt drawn to attraction to guilt. So I just Googled where it was, and it said chapter 19. So I turned to chapter 19. It's the very chapter I'm on already. And then you open the session with the song about unwinding and then talking about guilt. Yeah, it's like, okay, I need to.
It's clear. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Any mother guilt or wife guilt or whatever guilt, that's the call to release.
Yeah.
To rest in, you are enough. Your right mind is your safe place.
Yeah, it feels so amazing to be in that place. And there's a pull back. Yeah, I've been looking at that like when something else is wanted. Why?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. I'm thinking of the song, Lauren Daigle. You say I am strong when I am falling short. It's called You Say.
So I love it.
You can listen to it. Yeah. Mm. Beautiful. It's been really sweet to connect with all of you this morning. Thank you, everyone.